5 steps to buy your next deal on this episode of Title Tuesdays. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Title Tuesdays. My name's Kevin Tacher, the founder and CEO here at Independence Title, also known as your Title King. Today we have a very special guest. Doron is one of our great clients. He closes many deals with us, whether it's wholesaling deals, retailing deals, buy, fix, and flips. He is involved in the game. And I invited him here today to teach you, some of the new investors, maybe you're a real estate agent out there, how to get more deals, get into your first deal. So thanks for joining us on today's episode.
Thank you.
All right, so we have 5 steps. We're going to be brief with them because we don't want to make it too long, but we want to give them enough information. And as always, we're going to put Doron's information below, so feel free to reach out to him. He mentors many people to get them where they need to be to buy their next deal. So let's start with step number 1.
All right, so like you know, the real estate market is very hot. It's hard to find properties on the MLS. So my focus is to find properties off the MLS. Step number 1 is find a distressed owner that's going through a life crisis, like a probate, like a distress, tax liens, or he has an eviction going on. So you find that person. That's the step number 1.
That's a great step too, because I know seeing a lot of closings. You know, we close about 100 deals a month, and I always see the best deals are these probate deals. And I know you've done a few. The investors that learn how to truly find and acquire these probate deals are making tons of money. So that's a great first step.
Right. So the first step is that. The second step is to look on the comps. I know a lot of investors doesn't know what's comps. They don't look, they just put their properties out there. But the first thing is you have to know what the house is worth, how much you can sell it, how much you can make on it. So that's the second thing, to find the comps and to know what you're dealing with.
And that's a good one too, especially if you're a real estate agent out there, you have access to the MLS. We know if you're a consumer, do not rely on Zillow. Do not rely on Zillow for an accurate value. You need to pull your comps, and you need to make sure you're picking, I guess, within a subdivision, to make sure you can see, because something that may be a block over could be in a totally different subdivision. And you can actually reference, we had an appraiser on at one of our first episodes where she talked about how to select comparables. So it's very important to learn how to find the deal, and now you need to learn how to comp it out to make sure you're getting a good offer price.
Right, and another thing is, you'll see a house that's very expensive and you'll see a house that's very cheap. You don't want to take these two, you take what's in the middle.
Okay, great step. So number 3.
All right, so the number 3, and it's very important, is do your due diligence. You know what's the house is going, know what's the owner is going. You got to know if he has some filing in the court, if he has going through foreclosure, if he has some judgment against him, all kind of things. So you do your due diligence before you talk to the owner. That's the third step.
And due diligence, a lot of times we've done some other videos where you can go to the public record site. Remember, we're in the state of Florida. Everything is public record. The court system, the property records, everything's public record. So you can go and do your own due diligence and just make sure. I don't run their name search and say, I don't see anything. I don't see foreclosures. I don't. Maybe you'll see a probate. Maybe you'll see a death certificate. There are a lot of things that you can tell by just doing a little bit of a preliminary search, which is how Doron is doing so many deals, because he knows how to find it, step 1. He knows how to comp it out, step 2, and he knows how to do the due diligence to make sure he's getting a good deal, which is step 3.
And, it's also a good way to negotiate your deal. If you know what the owner's going through, you can negotiate a better deal, because you have the knowledge to get a better deal.
And it's finding a distressed seller and putting them with an eager buyer, and you make the profit. So step number 4.
Step number 4 is get it under contract. That's the best thing. And you need to know how to put a contract in place. So you have to learn how to put a contract and how to present it to the owner and make sure he signs it when you meet him.
And one of the things I like to talk about when we talk about contracts, we've done a video with an overlay of the contract, how to fill it out. One of the mistakes I see a lot of investors make is they come and they say, well, I have this deal. And I'm like, all right, do you have it under contract? Well, no, not yet.
Right.
Gone. You lost the deal to the next investor that stepped in. Because if it's a good deal, you need to get it under contract and then worry about assigning it, double closing. And one of the tips I want to tell you, because we're having more and more investors doing this, they're forgetting or totally disregarding putting up a deposit. Right. You need to make sure you put a deposit up. In the state of Florida, if you do not put a deposit up on that contract, it is not valid. I don't care if you put $10 in escrow or you put 10% in escrow. You need to put something in escrow in order to open up that file and make it a valid contract.
Right.
So that's tip number 4. Make sure you're getting that deal signed.
Under contract. And the fifth step is find a buyer and close the deal. That is the best part. You give it to Kevin. He's going to close the deal for you. They're doing an amazing job. I've had a lot of deals that almost fell through because of other title companies. I brought them to Kevin and it was closed and I was happy. So find a buyer and close the deal. That's the fifth.
And that's good. And that's usually the hardest, I think. Right. I think that's the hardest. You know, you go a lot of these fix and flip meetings and stuff, and they teach you how to find the deals, but they may not teach you how to get the buyers. And it's very important. It's very hard to do both, which is why we produce this video, because now you're able to partner up with someone like Doron. Call his office. He can help teach you how to find deals, and maybe he'll have the buyer. Maybe he could teach you how to find a deal. He'll buy it himself, fix it and flip it.
Do that too.
So it's very, very important. Or maybe you have a buyer and you say, hey, Doron, I have a buyer that's looking for this type of house, and he may have that buyer ready to go. So it's very, very important. So to recap, step number 1 is how to find deals.
How to find a deal, how to find the owner that needs to sell right now.
Step number 2
is do the comps. Make sure you know how much the house is worth.
Step 3,
do your due diligence. It's very important to do your due diligence.
Step number 4 is my favorite. That's where we talk about that contract, making sure it's fully executed, deposits up in escrow, all pages are initialed, and send it over to the title company to open up a title order. And step number 5,
sell the deal.
Sell the deal and what? Make the money. Right? It's all about making money in this business. So I truly appreciate you stopping by today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I hope you learned something new. If you're watching this video, share it on social media. Don't forget to subscribe below. Share this on Facebook. Share it on LinkedIn. Let others know that it is possible to make a lot of money in this business. So thanks for coming by. Doron's information's below. I'm going to put it in the comments section. Feel free to email him. Don't bombard him with phone calls, but do me a favor, shoot him an email, say, hey, I saw this episode of Title Tuesdays. I'd love to come in and learn what you do so he can teach you. And he's not going to do it for free, but he's definitely going to be able to teach you what you need to know, because this is the real deal investor. He's buying, he's wholesaling, he's fix and flipping, he's doing many, many deals on all facets of real estate investing. So thanks for watching this episode of Title Tuesdays. My name's Kevin Tacher, the founder and CEO, signing off, and we look forward to seeing you at the closing table.